So this is Euro dollar analysis for Monday the 4th of June. Now let's just have a look at them prices and where prices may likely go. So we had price come towards this 115, from which we did see the bullish buy side momentum, retake the 1612, from which we held the support at 1612, had price progress beyond the 200 period moving average towards this 1710, didn't get towards the 1728. What we did see, however, were we did see a bit of a pullback, retested 1710, another pullback, retested 1710 again. Had a further pullback, had prices head down towards the 1612. Didn't quite get there before having prices go on to retest this 1710 again, which we have pulled back a bit from. So if 1710 continues to hold as resistance, we are then looking for prices to head down towards this 1612, from which we could see the bullish buy side momentum return to the market for a retest. Failing to do that, we'll be looking for price to head down towards possibly that 1554. Successful break from which we'll be then looking for price to head down towards that 115 level. If, however, we do see the break and hold of the 1710, we're looking for a move up towards that 1728. Successful break from which the very next level that we are looking at here to the upside is a move up towards that 1771, and beyond there we're looking for a move towards that 1830. What we'll do now is we'll have a look at the higher time frame, see how prices are developing here. As we can see here on the monthly chart, we found support in the low, I think it's 104s, 103s. We've had this price move to the upside, head up towards that 125, from which we have seen a bit of a pullback. We've pulled back and retested these lows here. We're having a bit of a pull. We're having a bit of buy side momentum coming to the market from in around the 115s, pretty much the area where we pulled back before. So there is a possibility, if we do see a failure, let's just see where the failure would have to take place. If we do see a failure in around that 120, so if we do see the bullish buy side momentum take us up towards 120, we do find resistance, then there is a possibility of having a head and shoulders pattern here on the monthly chart and seeing further sell side momentum here to the downside. If we do fail at the 120, head and shoulders, so we have a shoulder, head, possible shoulder around that 120, and see further sell side momentum here to the downside. But let's just have a look at the weekly chart here, as that's pretty much wrapped up the monthly chart. So on this weekly chart, we can see we've had a series of higher lows. We had a gap in the market to the upside after the French elections, broke off the 200 period moving average, came back, retested, broke below the 200 period moving average, broke back above, higher low, had prices head up towards that 125 and that 400 period moving average, from which we did see a bit of a bull flag forming, but what we did see was a failure of this bull flag and saw sell side momentum here to the downside, down towards that 115 level here on the weekly chart. At present, we do have the 200 period moving average sitting at the 1430. So if we do see sell side momentum bring us down towards that level, we do have the 200 period moving average. But of note here on the weekly chart, so we did mention the potential head and shoulders pattern which is in play. Again, we can see it here on this weekly chart. We'll see how it develops from here, but this long week showing quite a bit of buy side momentum coming to the end of the week on the euro dollar. We have seen a bit of momentum follow through so far today, so we'll see whether we do continue to get a recovery here to the upside, or we will fail and see the continued sell side momentum in this market. What we'll do now, have a brief look here at the daily chart, and over on the daily chart we can see strong consistent sell-off, brief pullback, further consistency in the sell-off. Had a pretty large candle, bit of an engulfing candle. We had this engulfing candle here to the downside, this bullish engulfing candle. For us, seen prices somewhat become range bound after such a large move, which isn't too unusual. So if we can continue to hold this level and we do break above that 1710 and hold, we're looking for further continuation here to the upside on the euro against the dollar. Now, if we do see that price progression to the upside, the most notable level that I can see here on this daily chart is possibly a move up towards that 1961, up towards that 120, where we do have this pin bar just there. So there is a possibility, and that is the area identified as possibly being where we might have a shoulder on the head and shoulders pattern on the monthly chart. And with that said, that should pretty much wrap up the the euro dollar analysis. Thanks for watching.